Hey, Godfrey here. So recently I've been getting back into 90s rock, and if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you're a fan as well. I also got my first electric guitar back in the early 90s, so that whole era of rock was pretty influential for me. But enough about that. This video is about Mike Ness's beloved 1976 Gibson Les Paul Deluxe Gold Top. So here it is. This is a Gibson Custom Shop limited edition replica of Mike Ness's actual model. It's been aged by Murphy Lab to precisely match the wear and tear found on the original guitar. All the decals are identical to those found on Mike's own model. It has a two-piece plain maple top, a mahogany maple mahogany back, and a three-piece maple neck. It's got an Indian rosewood fretboard, Seymour Duncan P90 pickups, and aged nickel hardware. In the case, there's a certificate of authenticity and a paper rose which Mike famously likes to attach to the headstock. So as you may know, Mike Ness is the frontman for the band Social Distortion, and even though they formed in 1978, it wasn't until around 1990 that they broke out and found some mainstream success with their third album. The album was self-titled and was actually the first album the band put out that wasn't funded by the band. I'll admit I wasn't really familiar with Social Distortion back then, but I've been digging into some of their albums from that era and definitely liking what I've heard so far. For me right now, the simplicity of the writing and playing sounds really refreshing. There doesn't seem to be a ton of layering or studio tricks going on, just solid playing, strumming open chords in the first position with lots of distortion and that kind of vibe. Later on in the video, I'll try to play some stuff in that vein. So typically you'd find a pair of mini humbuckers on this mid-70s Les Paul Deluxe, but Mike swapped those out for a pair of 1950s style P90s, and I think the combination works really well. This guitar is not lightweight by any means, and I think that might be one reason why Mike shied away from it early on. But the story goes that he borrowed a Les Paul for a show one night and was actually able to get some airtime with it, so he was hooked from then on. I really like the decal of Mr. Horsepower, this cigar-smoking bird that sometimes has been confused with the cartoon character Woody Woodpecker, but it's actually the logo of a high-performance car part shop called Clay Smith Cams, dating back to the early 1930s. Social D's style of rock has punk rock in it, some country rock. I think they started calling the mix cowpunk. I hear some rockabilly, some classic rock. They've actually influenced quite a few bands. In several of their songs, I hear hints of Green Day and some other bands.
Bro, are you trying to tell me Green Day influenced Social Distortion?
No, quite the contrary. It's clear that Social Distortion influenced bands like Green Day, The Offspring, and even Pearl Jam. A lot of Social D's songs are played with a capo on the 2nd fret. They also tune their guitars down half a step to E flat. And later on in the video, I'll try to play some stuff in their style. You know, a lot of open chord strumming in the first position with punk style chugs and that kind of thing. So this official replica retails for $8,999 plus applicable taxes, so not ridiculously expensive, but it's definitely no slouch either. Mike Ness usually plays through a 50-watt Fender Bassman head into 2 Marshall cabs. He'll run something like a Klon Centaur overdrive pedal in the front of the amp, and usually mic up the amps with a SM57 and a Royer 121. So I've pulled up the closest thing I have to that, and I think it sounds pretty close or close enough. Alright, so let's plug it in and check out some tones, and as usual, hit up the like button if you like. Here's a little neck pickup. Alright, I think that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments section what you think. I've got some more videos in the works, so I'll see you back here in just a little bit.